Hey guys! So if you are a makeup lover, if you are on Twitter or Instagram, if you follow the beauty community at all, you probably already know that Friday night Rihanna released her Fenty Beauty collection available at Sephora. So being a beauty fan myself and also having a Sephora gift card, I decided to go ahead and go and pick something up. The shade range on Fenty Beauty is amazing. You've probably already heard that. That's what everyone is kind of losing their mind over, and for good reason. There are tons of shades starting from very, very fair, like even, a couple shades more fair than me, going up into deep shades with a lot of different undertone options. So there's a lot of really great options. I did pick up one that is not quite as like pinky red as my skin technically is. So I'm curious to see how it wears. And I've also heard that it does oxidize some, so we'll see how it looks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I applied it here in the next section. And then I'm going to also record something at the end of the day just to see kind of how it wore, if it oxidized, just like what it looks like on my skin after a full day of wear. So sorry if the lighting changes quite a bit, but I think that's going to be the best way to actually see how the foundation is, because as we all know, sometimes something looks really, really great when you first put it on, and then a few hours later, not so awesome. So stay tuned. I'll put the timestamps below, like if you don't care about seeing the application, if you just want to jump to the review at the end, I'll include the timestamps. Okay, so I haven't even opened this foundation yet, so let's give it a go. Okay, so it's got this nice glass bottle, and it does say to shake well, so it doesn't even feel like it's shaking. Okay, so I've already moisturized and primed my face. I actually used a green primer, which I like to use to counteract the redness, especially since this particular foundation is not very red toned. Okay, so I ended up getting shade 170. I think that was a cool toned one. It actually doesn't say on the box. I was debating between a cool and a neutral. I think I ended up with cool toned. So let's give it a try. I'm going to be using just this makeup sponge from NYX to apply. They actually do have their own makeup sponge, but I didn't want to spend the money on it because I already have plenty of makeup sponges. So it's pretty thin. I would say the consistency is a tad bit thicker than the Makeup Forever. I know a lot of people have used that foundation, so I feel like that's a good kind of marker to use. This was 1 pump, I think. Shoot, I wasn't paying that much of attention. It might have been 2 pumps. And I'm not even going to bother going up on my forehead because my bangs completely cover it, especially right now because they're super grown out. I'm going to get a small mirror so I can make sure that everything is blending. But so far so good. It is a little peachier than I thought it was going to be, which is fine for me. And I have heard that this formula oxidizes quite a bit. So we're just going to see. That's why I'm going to check back in later so that we can actually see how it wears, because I feel like a first impression isn't really that helpful. Like, foundation can look fine on the skin when you first apply it, but then who knows what it's going to be like by the end of the day. So, I mean, it looks nice. It's definitely more matte than the Makeup Forever. So, keep that in mind if you like a more dewy foundation, but so far I really like it. I'm going to go back in and do a second layer just because I'm curious. And I usually like to do a second layer just like kind of here, because that's where I tend to have like the most problem areas. So I'm going to do just like the tiniest bit. That might have been 1 pump. A little goes a long way with this foundation, which is really nice. It's pretty, I don't want to say affordable because obviously it's not like $6 like a drugstore foundation would be. But just for reference, my Makeup Forever foundation, I think this is either 42 or 43, and it has 1.01 fluid ounces, and this has 1.08 fluid ounces, so it's a little bit more product, and I think it was about $10 cheaper. It was 32 versus the Makeup Forever, which is either 42 or 43, I can't remember. So as long as like this foundation works, heck yeah, I'll keep buying it because it's also cruelty free. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup off camera. I'm going to do some stuff throughout the day, and then I will touch base with you guys later to see how this worked out. Okay, y'all, I'm back. It's the same day. I'm wearing a different shirt because I was doing swatches on my arm, and of course I got it on the white shirt that I was wearing because such is my life. So I usually look more oily on camera than I am, but I wanted to go ahead and just come back without blotting so that you guys could see kind of how everything is worn. And I'm actually gonna now go ahead and blot some of that oil just because it's really annoying to me. In my last video I was super oily and I did not want that again. So I didn't buy the Fenty blotting sheets just because I have a million different kinds. I'm using my favorite, which are the ones from Palladio. It's rice paper blotting sheets, and they actually have like some translucent powder on them. It's pretty cool. So that's what I like to use. And I'm just gonna blot a little bit here just to kind of get some of this excess off. Okay, so I'm gonna have a mirror and kind of talk through how everything looks. So all in all, I would say everything looks pretty good. I have a little bit of eyeshadow fallout. That's annoying. I definitely had some spots. I got lipstick on my chin. Doing great. Great YouTubing right now. Okay, so I do have some spots that I like didn't conceal. Like I got a pimple right there and you can probably see it. Honestly, most of the time I don't care enough to conceal. Whatever. My skin is never perfect. I'm not going to take the time to like color correct and do a million layers of concealer. It's just not who I am. So that's pretty standard for me to have some of those spots come through my foundation. That's okay. But really it looks pretty good. I've been wearing this for like 7 hours now. My nose is still pretty well covered, which a lot of time that's kind of like the first part of my foundation that starts to like slip off. I'm not really seeing any like cakiness, maybe a tiny bit here in the edge of my nose, but I mean not much. A lot of people said that it oxidized. I definitely did not have a noticeable difference. Now there may be, there's a lot of different shades, so it may be that like certain shades oxidize more than others, but I'm happy with the way mine looks. My color seems to be the same, if not really, really, really close to how it was earlier today. So no issues there. All in all, I'm really happy with it. It's a matte foundation. They say you don't need to set it, but I disagree. You guys saw how oily I was, and I did set it with powder and a setting spray. So if I were you, I would just do whatever your normal routine is. So you know your skin better than anybody. For me, I have to set or else my foundation just goes. I was kind of running around a lot today, so I'm pretty happy with how everything has stayed. This is probably going to be my new go-to foundation. I'm excited to find one that is cruelty-free, that fits all the other, check boxes that I'm looking for. As far as application goes, I would also, again, just apply it how you normally apply foundation. I really have to use a sponge for my foundation. I found that my skin is so sensitive, and with my rosacea and all the other skin issues that I have, a sponge is the best way to apply everything without irritating my skin and making it kind of flare up and get red. So if you have sensitive skin or if you have rosacea, that's just kind of like a side tip. I would definitely apply your makeup with a sponge when you can. But yeah, I think this foundation is a great canvas for the rest of my makeup. Nothing else went on like muddy. Everything seems to have, I can still see like my foundation and my contour and bronzer. Not foundation. My blush, my bronzer, and my contour and everything has mostly stayed in place. So yeah, I don't really know what else you can ask from a foundation other than that. So I give my Fenty Beauty foundation an A+. I'm very happy with it. If you guys have tried it, definitely let me know. If you have any specific questions that I forgot to cover, please ask. As I said, my shade is 170. My Makeup Forever shade is R230, if that helps anyone. Yeah. If you like what you see here and you want more fashion and beauty content, you can visit my blog, ValerieBrennan.com. You can also follow me on social media, pretty much everywhere except Snapchat. I am Valerie Brennan. I have Snapchat, I just don't use it, so don't bother following me there. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Make sure to subscribe to see more. I've got a couple more videos lined up for you guys that I'm really excited about. Got some Halloween content coming that I'm really excited about, so stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!